Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome to the Monday Morning Pep Talk. In this week's installment, we're going to dig into my coworkers are constantly complaining. We've all been in a workplace where our coworkers complain. In some cases, it's just one or two people that are known for not being happy and complaining about all the things that are wrong with their job and the company. In others, it's become more of a cultural standard. Often everybody gets together to complain about how bad everything is, and obviously all of the different flavors in between. So let's jump into the problem here. I think we can all agree on the fact that we have needs and wants as they relate to our jobs and our lives. And we can find ourselves in environments that are in service of those needs and wants, but we can also find ourselves in environments where those needs are not being met. So the problem that exists here is there are a group of people, just a few, possibly many, including ourselves, that have needs that are not being met. And each person may have very different wants and needs from you, from one another. But the complaining, that's a result of those needs not being met. So how do we restructure this in a more productive way? Start by acknowledging the fact that you have a choice whether or not you choose to stay in this job and at this company. If your needs, or your coworkers' needs for that matter, are not being met, you all have the power to do something about it. So what does this look like? First, ask yourself, what is it that I actually want? And do I feel this company and this role are actually giving me those things? If the answer is no, you have two paths to consider. Option one is asking for what you want. It doesn't mean you will get it, but you will at least have taken the initiative to ask for what you want or are needing in that particular moment. And the more you practice asking for what you want or need, the more empowered you will become. Option two is to find another organization and or job that satisfies more of your needs. If you are working in one of those places where you are not happy and a lot of others are not happy, the environment changing to magically suit all of your needs is probably not going to happen. So start looking for jobs or places where people are talking about loving their jobs, not always complaining about them. Don't get sucked in. Take your power back by defining what you need and asking for it, or ultimately searching for it. At many points in my career, I have been the complainer. I have attracted and encouraged other complainers. We rallied around our common foe, whether it be the company or the manager, and commiserated about our situations. We rarely did anything about it, and therefore the situation rarely changed. Now I have a pretty clear idea of what I want to do, who I want to work with, how I want to be treated, and how I want to interact with others. When I find myself in situations where those needs aren't being met, which still happens regularly, I look at it as an opportunity to better communicate what needs I have that are not being met and find a way to satisfy them. And a funny thing starts to happen when you do this. Just like I attracted other complainers when I would complain before, if I start acting this way, I attract other people who also have clarity around their needs and wants and also have the courage to communicate them. And instead of rallying around a common foe, although you still can, you rally around a common goal. You collaborate to achieve it, and you support one another to overcome those challenges as opposed to complaining about them. These places exist, and they exist for you and your needs. You just have to seek them out. So that brings us to the next actions for this week. I want you to try a few things. The first thing I'd love for you to do is to examine the source of the complaining. Ask yourself, what is my role in this? Am I allowing myself to be complained at by my coworkers? Am I actively participating with my coworkers and complaining too? Do a little diagnosis and determine if you're a source, if you're an observer, or if you're an absorber, or all of the above. Once you understand what role you have, then you can decide what to do about it. So the next thing I want you to do is ask yourself, what is one need that I have that is not currently being met by this situation and is a cause of a complaint? It could be a need for more productive solutioning instead of just venting and complaining. It could be a need for more organizational transparency. It could be a need for better work-life balance. Whatever it is, try to name one unmet need. And then finally ask yourself, what is a boundary I can set with myself, my coworkers, and or with my employer to try to address my unmet need? If it's you, try starting the day with an intention to not engage with complaining. Or make a commitment to communicating a boundary with a coworker or boss. Or make a suggestion to the organization's leadership about a helpful practice to improve the company. Try to find a small step you can take to take power back over your situation and your future happiness. As always, we wish you the best of luck as you try these things out. If you need any help, please do not hesitate to reach out. Remember, we love you, we believe in you, and we are here for you. Take care of yourselves and one another, and we'll see you again next week.